Mpango mzima maisha asubuhi #Rio na Sugar Boy. Kaka mzima.
Alhamdulillah.
Nashukuru.
Sema this Awuor ilikuwa imepangwa jamani, itakuwa na mahojiano rasmi
ndio
na wenzetu kutoka Safaricom.
Right. Na asubuhi ya leo jamani, tutakuwa tunaongelea masuala yote ambapo Safaricom vile wamejishirikisha na wamejishughulisha na masuala yote ya athlete. Wiki iliyopita pale walikuwa wamemshika mkono Faith Kipyegon katika ile mile ya kukimbia maili moja chini ya dakika 4 jamani. Paris pale. Huyu binti alikuwa ameka attempt ya kukimbia maili moja na dakika 4.
Under 4 minutes.
Chini ya dakika 4.
Yes.
Mtoto wa kike alikuwa toke nduki. Lakini unajua haya yote hayange nufaika bila kuwa na support system ambayo Safaricom pale walisema kwamba watamshika huyu binti, na leo tutaka tupige tu gumzo tupate kujua ilikuwa namna gani, preparation ilikuwa ni vipi, na Safaricom mbona imejitoa kimasomaso kuhakikisha kwamba wamesupport talanta na pia wamesupport wanariadha kwa ujumla na sport kwa ujumla pia. Na bila kupoteza wakati ndani ya studio tuko na mgeni wetu amesema Kiswahili bwana.
Sio mdomo changu.
Kiswahili bwana. Hii nikiendelea kuongea hivi nitaumia. If I continue speaking Swahili nitaumia. Na bila kupoteza wakati asubuhi ya leo, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
We are very fine, and you?
I'm great, and thank you for giving me grace and allowing me to speak in Swahili. I hope your listeners don't mind.
They don't mind.
Okay.
They don't mind. Ama do they mind, kaka?
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody minds. Okay, without further ado, asubuhi ya leo, maybe you can introduce yourself, what you do, who you are, and then kutoka pale we can continue.
Sawa. So my name is Zizwe Awuor, and I am the brand and marketing director for Safaricom PLC, and I'm very happy to be here with you gentlemen.
Mdosi. Yo umeelewa hiyo. All right, this beautiful morning, let's talk about Safaricom.
Yes.
Safaricom and what it has been doing, especially in matters athletes and supporting especially Faith, who the other day was tried to break the 1 mile under 4 minutes. Maybe with that, can you give us a preparation on that, on how Safaricom came through and how did that come about?
Of course. So at Safaricom, we always talk about being Kenya's the biggest supporter of Kenyan talent, Kenyan sports people, and we do whatever we can to make sure that we're enabling people to monetize their passions, monetize their talents, and of course Kenya is a very sporty nation. We have very many talented sports people, whether it's in football, whether it's in in rugby. I mean, in this case in athletics. I mean we're the home of champions when it comes to athletics. So the association with Faith is actually a long one, because actually Faith was discovered many years ago at a Safaricom athletics track meet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. So that's when she was discovered. So we have a long history, and more recently she became a brand ambassador for Safaricom.
Right.
So if you looked last year, you would have seen the work we were doing with her around the Olympics. She was in one of our TV ads. So she's she's our partner. We like to think of each other as partners. I think she's a great ambassador for this country, which I think we'll all agree. And Kenya is Safaricom and Safaricom is Kenya. So who better to represent our brand and represent Kenyans out there than Faith?
All right. I understand you were in Paris.
Yes, I was.
Paris. And how was the whole preparation? Maybe I wish Faith was here, but since you were there, what was running behind Faith's mind with the pressure that the whole country is supporting her?
In fact, the whole world.
The whole world was supporting, and even here in Kenya, we were having a challenge on air, people to send messages to Faith. How was she feeling when she was there?
Look, I think so. I was with her in the studio, and especially in the stadium, and especially after she finished running. I know there was obviously a lot of pressure. To your point, the whole world is watching you. You're going to be the first woman to break you know, the 4-minute mile. So obviously a lot of pressure, but I think what I like to say is I know she didn't break the 4-minute mile, but she broke her record. So she's still the greatest of all time when it comes to the middle, middle distance races. I think obviously a lot of pressure. I think she held up well given the situations. The vibe in the stadium, the vibe in Paris was incredible. To be there as Safaricom and as Zizwe, because I'm also a big fan of Faith, you know, so that she could see familiar faces, see Kenyans in the crowd supporting her. I know she really valued that, but I think what was incredible for me was just seeing the work ethic that she put in to do this thing, right? And I know this thing is not finished yet. Faith is going to get that thing. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
So we know that Faith didn't manage to break the record, but she was able to break her own record.
Yes.
How does that make you feel as her sponsor and the support system?
So proud, you know. Even after the race, you know, after she was doing the lap of honor, she actually ran up to me after the race, and one of the things I was actually telling her in her ear was, we are so proud of you as Safaricom, and most importantly as Kenyans. We are so like, I know, you know, we have the numbers that 37 million people streamed, Kenyans streamed to watch Faith. Like that's almost more than half the nation were watching Faith, right? And I know we were all like, even as I was speaking to Faith, I felt that I was speaking on behalf of Kenyans to say, we are proud of you, Faith. As Safaricom, we are super, super proud of her. She held her head up high. She pushed. She beat her own record. And more importantly, she dared to try. Because sometimes when things are, I mean, that's such a mammoth thing to try and achieve, right? So to even say, I'm going to go for it, that already for me, you're a winner.
No, okay. When Faith was preparing to participate in the challenge, the 1 mile in under 4 minutes, there was a Faith bundle. That most Kenyans were like,
is this a scam?
Is this real? What is happening? How did you manage to do that? And honestly speaking, I think it was between around 7 to around 10 where the bundle was active. Most Kenyans were really, really anticipating for that time to subscribe on this, because they were saying Faith Kipyegon is in Paris, breaking the record. And here is Safaricom breaking another record, a 4-minute bundle for 4 shillings, or 4 GB.
4 GB
for 4 shillings. How was that? How?
Because look, at the end of the day, right, what we want, we knew not everyone could be in the stadium in Paris to watch Faith, right? What would take them to Paris is streaming, you know, their screens, right? And so we wanted to make it as easy as possible for them to log on and stream and watch the race. And so a 4 GB bundle for 4 shillings. It's unheard of. Like I was even telling my friends when some of them were calling me, it's like, is there a typo? I'm like, no, it's not a typo. That is the deal. It's 4 GB for 4 shillings. And again, just to make sure as many Kenyans as possible could watch the race, which is what we're about. It's about, it's about enabling Kenyans to connect to the world. And that's what Safaricom has always been about.
It was really shocking. It was really surprising. We were trying to comprehend how really I was waiting.
We were breaking it down like 1 GB for 1 ball.
We're trying to do the math, and the math was not calculating, and we're like, okay, this is Safaricom doing the most.
So imagine getting that value on the strongest and best network in this country. It's incredible.
Very incredible. What does Faith's journey and performance represent for Safaricom as a brand deeply rooted in transforming lives?
I think Faith's journey is the story of Kenya. The story of it doesn't matter where you came from. You hustle, you work hard, and we're innately talented as Kenyans. You know, we have lots of talents, we have lots, and we see this every day. And, hustling and working hard, I think, importantly, on that talent. And then, when you get support from, brands like Safaricom, being able to take it to the world, but always rooted in your hard work and your talent. So I think for me, it's a story of Kenya. which is a very inspiring one. And even if you think about the things that Faith then does, her philanthropy work again, which is very important to her when it comes to women and girls and all of that, again mirroring very closely to what we at Safaricom believe in terms of transforming lives, which we do a lot of. If you think about the work we do with our foundations, for example, we do a lot of work in that space.
And talking about doing a lot of work, she's not the first athlete that you've worked with.
No.
Eliud.
No, yes.
Eliud also has been in the picture.
Yes.
And you even rebranded the M-Pesa logo with Eliud 159, 159. Why is Safaricom keen on supporting athletes and sports in general in Kenya?
Yeah, so we turned 25 in October, so a massive anniversary, and over the last 25 years,
I was about to say Safaricom has to get married.
it's that time, we need to find. We need to find someone
because M-Pesa was turning 18. So we are mepata ID. I think Safaricom now should just show us who they're getting married to.
So will you help us look for someone?
Tutasaidia pale tutaweza.
Oh my gosh. No, I've even forgotten the question. You distracted me with your marriage proposal. Your Safaricom marriage proposal.
We were talking about Eliud 159. How Safaricom is supporting
Eliud,
athletes.
Of course, yes. So no. So what I was getting at is that we've actually we've put in billions of shillings into sports. And again, it just comes back to what I was saying earlier around we need to enable Kenyans. We're the biggest champion of Kenyans. We're the biggest enabler of Kenyans and their passion points, and we put our money where our mouth is in that regard. And not just our money, we do a lot with these athletes. We do financial literacy training. We do branding training. For example, the team that went to Paris last year, we had whole sessions with them to teach them how to brand themselves, how to do interviews, how to manage their money, and all of that, right? And we do that because, as I said, we want Kenyans to be at their best possible selves, and we just like the wind beneath their wings in a small way to do that. So yes, we did. We partnered with Eliud a few years ago. We were actually with Eliud in Paris as well.
All right.
So we were watching Faith as well, and I know he was a huge support system for her, having been through a similar thing a few years back.
I have friends of mine from Golini. Golini is where my brother comes from in Kwale. It's a village in Kwale. And they are lovers of football. And they were asking me that when Madam comes in the studio,
Chapadimba.
Chapadimba is there, but they're asking Jabari, can Safaricom just make a football team?
As in a Safaricom football team.
Yeah, they are willing to participate. They say Chapadimba is doing quite well. But imagine if Safaricom had a football team. We go play with Yanga and Simba. They said that would have been a great
that's
initiative.
That's a dope idea. So you've given me two good ideas. One, Safaricom needs to get married. Two, we need a football team. I'm taking notes. No, but that's a great idea.
These young men out there, they're saying Safaricom with the initiative of Chapadimba tournament of five-a-side has really brought out good talent out there, and some talents have been participating in the major leagues in Kenya. So they were like, what if now Safaricom enters in the major leagues in Kenya also and has a Safaricom football team? Just imagine that.
I like that, actually. I really like that idea.
Madam, I'm also a coach. He's a very good striker, by the way.
So you guys will join the team?
Of course.
Okay, sawa. So we already have two people. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach and striker.
I'm a striker and a treasurer at the same time.
Let's talk about how Safaricom is connecting Kenyans internationally, especially during global events. How are you able to achieve this?
Yeah, I think this Faith event, I think, was a perfect example of that. We already spoke about the 4GB bundle, making sure that it's as easy as possible for Kenyans to stream and feel like they're wherever these global events are happening, whether it's the Olympics, whether it's Faith running the mile, and then also for Kenyans traveling outside of Kenya,
Yeah.
you know, great roaming packages so that you can still connect to your loved ones back home with your Safaricom number even when you are gallivanting the world. So always great propositions to allow you to connect wherever you are.
All right. There's one question that Kenyans are asking, Jamari. They've always seen Safaricom with the glam, with the glitz. Every time they are celebrating, they go overboard. Yani utajua tu ni Safaricom imeingia hapa. This time around, sherehe ni gani? As a Faith, keep you going. Are we painting the whole CBD green? Are we buying choppers? Tutavaa sote green huko. Yeah, plans ni gani? Faith akirudi.
I like this. But how you know what would be interesting for your listeners to tell us, how do you think we should welcome her back? How do you Kenyans tell us, how do you think we should welcome Faith back? Our House of Safaricom, and we will do what we can. So of course we have some plans, but it's also good to co-create with the people on the ground, right? This is their champion too. Right? What do you think?
Wana treasure kuna idea ni vipi ambapo tutamkaribisha Faith nyumbani. Wameweka mabango pale KICC lakini tofauti ya Faith tunaifanya vipi?
Tunamfuata paka airport pale. Obvious kwa sababu ya culture yetu tumezoea. Do you know the mursik?
Yes, of course. I love mursik. Dancers.
Yes. Dancing there. Do you know the Simbaropa?
Yeah, you know Simbaropa?
Simbaropa.
Oh, wow. I think that's one thing that you should also include. Simbaropa actually in Mombasa, this is a group of young men who have drums and trumpet. So it's more for a coastal vibe of celebrating. It's very unique, very nice.
Okay, I like that.
Voke, my producer, is saying he's an acrobat. Yeah. He's willing to... Oh my God. Do you know those acrobats?
Yeah.
You remember we did that in Likoni? Yes. We did that one time together. Yeah.
So even he will be there, leading the charge. I mean, this has been a very fruitful visit to the studio.
Yeah, we are young men full of ideas.
I can see. I love it.
Yeah, but in true honesty, Kenyans are anticipating, asking, maybe are there plans?
Yes, there are plans.
Kenyan is asking me, can you talk to the government for a public holiday on that day to have Faith Kipyegon land in Kenya?
That would be awesome. Yeah. So for sure we'll be Faith is currently in the US. She has a race on the 6th, I think.
Right.
But yes, when she is back, we will be doing we will definitely welcome her in style. The last time beyond we put her on KICC, but more importantly we actually put in 2 million shillings into her charity. Wow. So that she has a charity which we put money into. So of course we will do something for Faith to say asante for representing Kenyans well. But we can't put all our secrets here on the streets, you know. We have to, the element of surprise.
Element of surprise is very important. But I know one of the ideas you've picked.
I've picked acrobat.
Yes.
I heard acrobats, and your producers promised to be an acrobat.
And Safaricom has good ways of celebrating our heroes.
Very true. Very true. And maybe this time around, what message do you have maybe for Faith? Umetuambia yuko US. She's preparing. She's preparing for her next race. Perhaps us, her sponsors, and also us a Kenyan. What message do you have for her?
My message for Faith remains consistent. We love you, Faith. We are so proud of what you do to represent us and as Kenyans. Keep going. I know that record is around the corner, and even the 1500s and stuff, because she's in awesome shape right now. So I'm looking forward to some new world records. But yeah, go Faith. We're behind you all the way.
That's cute. Sugar na mipango kuingia katika mbio Safaricom inashikilia watu. I'm sorry, Madam Zizwe, I'm telling him, does he plan to, take part in athletes? Safaricom is supporting people.
I wish, but body structure.
It's not allowing.
At our place, we say edge go. The edge has gone.
Yeah.
Maybe as we're finalizing this interview, perhaps there is a young man out there, a next Faith Kipyegon, who wants to be, put in the limelight. Maybe they are working hard in, kwa mlima fulani, running up and down, trying to be the next Faith Kipyegon. what word do you have for them? How do they become the next faith keep you going?
Look, I think I'm not an athlete myself, but I think what I would say is I'm sure that person is hustling, they're training, they're running. I think it's about putting yourself out there, right? So there are lots of races, even just the Safaricom ones that we sponsor. Just make sure that you're going out to those. We just finished sponsoring Lewa Marathon this past weekend, where we are seeing a lot of, great young athletes, So putting yourself in those spaces and, pushing and working hard and, and finishing on the podium, I think is the best way to to get out there. So it's about making sure that other people see your talent.
Wow. Yeah. And do you have maybe campaigns whereby we have these forums where we come from in Mombasa? We have these initiatives that once in a while footballers, athletes just have a kongamano kwa Kiswahili.
They just come together.
They come together. And then they participate and they just have fun and at the end of the day appreciate each other. Perhaps is there plans for such? Maybe in that line we can be able to get the next faith keep you going and
100%. 100%. So we look in the next year you're going to be seeing us Chapadimba will be back. So that's so Chapadimba will be back for our season 5 and that's going to be a big one. And whenever we do Chapadimba, it's more than just the football tournament. If you've come to the pitches, you'll see that we generally have medical camps. We have places where we're giving each other people talks, financial literacy, and all of that. So those are spaces in which athletes can come and learn and be a part of, I guess, the Safaricom experience. But what I like about what you're saying is maybe specific athlete forums. We have M-Pesa Sokonis now live where we're going around the country engaging with Kenyans. So maybe we'll see how in those spaces, because we'll be around the country and we have different forums, we'll see how we can actually include our sports people in that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I like it. So I've gotten many good ideas today. Asanteni.
We can apply. Thank you, Madam Zizwe Awuor, for your time. Safaricom's Director of Brand and Marketing. Thank you so much for your time, and we're hoping that Kenyans wamepata ujumbe na where Faith Kipyegon is tutakuwa tunampatia support yetu 100%. Sema 100%.
100%.
Ni kipi kikusitikishacho?
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
Say again?
Ni kipi kikusitikishacho? Thank you so much, Mane, for your time. Na tunaomba kwamba Safaricom iendelee kupeperusha taifa letu la Kenya vile na athletes wetu.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Karibu tena.